What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra Janae. I'm here with another video. This week we're going to be talking about nursing, travel nursing, our pay, all that good stuff. So go ahead and like my video, comment, subscribe to my channel for more because I'm going to be giving you guys a lot more videos about nursing, finances, all that good stuff. So let's just go ahead and jump into the video because I got a lot of tea to spill, sis. All right, so I'm gonna have my notebook here just so I don't forget anything because I have a lot of things to share with you guys. I'm just gonna start off with my experience as a travel nurse, how I got started with it, and all of that good stuff. So basically, as you guys know, I was working as a home health pediatric nurse. I did that for about a year, a little over a year. And I'm a new nurse. I graduated 2019 and I'm an LPN, so that's important. I'm an LPN, so all the pay and everything that you guys are going to be seeing is LPN pay. So yeah, so then my coworker called me up and she was like, hey, someone else told me about travel nursing and what do you think about it? And this is like a long conversation, but I just wanted to make it short for you guys. And I'm like, at that point, let's do it. I was unhappy with my job. I was pretty depressed. I wanted something new. I just didn't know how to get out of it. And I just said, let's do it. So at first I was on Facebook groups, but then how we got this contract is she got an email from a recruiter from an agency and we just started talking with her. She gave us a spreadsheet of all the places that she had available at that time with the pay, the hours that we're going to be working, all that stuff. And we basically just went through and we picked the highest paying one that we saw on there. And that was New Hampshire. We were in Keene, New Hampshire. Our contract was from February 1st to March 30th, something like that. It was for 8 weeks basically. And our contract started February 1st. And at this time, it was the beginning of January, so it was already 2021. So we just kind of like went for it. We had to like really quickly figure out how to tell our jobs and everything like that, but we did that. So basically how a contract works, they'll give you the contract, they'll tell you how much you're going to be making gross, and in that gross pay, it's broken down into different sections. So you'll have your non-taxable income, which is usually your hourly pay, and then you'll have your taxable income, which will be broken down into a stipend. And stipend is your housing. They'll give you a certain amount for housing a week, and then they'll give you a food stipend for the week. So and that money is non-taxable, so it will not be taxed. And you'll also get money like bonuses for completing your contract, or you'll get travel reimbursement, so they'll pay you up to a certain amount of money to get to your location and then to get back home. They'll give you a bonus. It just depends on the contract, so do your research. There are a lot of different contracts out there. If you feel as though this contract isn't enough, keep looking. You'll probably find one a little bit more, especially right now because of COVID. So there's a lot of different things out there. And in this particular contract, we were going to be working with geriatrics, so we're at a nursing home, which was fine for our first contract. We weren't really too picky. We just wanted to see what the experience was going to be like. So yeah, so I'll get a little bit more into depth as far as money in a little bit later, because I'm going to be showing you guys one of my paychecks to show you how much I made on my first contract. But yeah, that's basically how I got into travel nursing. A coworker came to me and we decided to do it together. So a tip is, if you want to do travel nursing and if you're able to find someone to do it with, I highly recommend doing that because it will save you a lot of money. When you're going on these contracts, you have to, especially if you're getting the stipend way, because that's the only way that I know, you have to pay for your own living expenses. You know, you might already have rent or a mortgage back home. You might already have a car. You know, you have your bills that you already have to take care of. So finding a contract that is worth doing all this for is really important, because you're basically going to be paying kind of like two of everything, you know. So if you're able to find someone to do it with, or maybe 2 or 3 people, I don't know, depends on you, I would go for it. Just make sure it's someone that you can trust, someone that you could get along with, people that, you know, y'all are all doing the same goal. So yeah, so to look for contracts, you can go on Facebook groups. They have a bunch of different Facebook groups that the recruiters are constantly posting whatever contracts they have available. Usually they will show the pay, where it's located, what you'll be doing, stuff like that, and they'll tell you how much you're gonna be making, so then you can message them back and start from there. Or you could sign up for different agencies and get like their email alerts, and they'll email you, recruiters will email you, and then you could reply back to them that way. There's probably some other ways, but these are the ways that I'm familiar with. And also just who you know. If your coworker is about to go on a trip, and they could send you the information that they know about, you know, just any ways, just word of mouth, that's good too. Say you've picked your contract, you already know how much you're gonna be making, blah 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 blah. Now you need to figure out, where is your contract located? My contract was in Keene, New Hampshire. It was country. The place that we were working at was fairly close to where we were living at, and I'll start getting into living expenses and where to find housing and all that stuff in a little bit. But once we found our housing, and once we got our contract and we knew what facility we would be working at, we found housing that was located nearby, and we were able to find a house that was like a mile away from our job. And instead of getting a car and spending money on all that car, we decided to walk. We walked to work, which was about a 25-minute walk, and it worked out for us for those 2 months. It was a sacrifice. Some people aren't able to do stuff like that, but we were being very flexible. We were able to just be flexible and do what we had to do to get the money, and it worked out perfectly. So yeah, so basically our nursing home was a mile from where we were living, and we were able to walk to work every day. It was snowing a lot. It was a lot, but we felt safe. It was a very country area, so not crime going on. We had our taser and our pepper spray just in case, but walking was fine. We were together, so it worked out perfectly for us. Back to living arrangement. So in order for you to find housing, if you're going to get that stipend, you have to find housing on your own. And what we used was furnishfinder.com. You can use a bunch of different places, but we've only stuck to Furnish Finder, and it's worked out well for us. Also, you could use Airbnbs. You could go on Facebook group. If you have family or friends that live in the area where you're going, talk to them. They probably will let you stay with them. They might let you stay for free. They might charge you a little bit. I don't know. But if you're able to find family or friends that are where you're going to be staying or working, that works out perfect, because I'll save you a lot of money as well. So Furnish Finder is what I was using, and it worked out really, really good. Our first place that we used was, we got a house. A couple was renting out some rooms in their house, so we were able to get a room. And our rent, if it was just one person staying in the room, they were going to charge us $700, but it was 2 of us, so they decided, hey, since it's going to be more people, the rent will be $800 a month. So our rent was $800 a month. We split that in half, so we each paid $400 in rent, which was super, super, super cheap, and it worked out well. We had our room, we had a bathroom, we had a washer, dryer, we had access to the kitchen. They had a dog, but we didn't mind having the dog. The dog was fine. And just have to be flexible and do a lot of research. There's places out there in every area that you can imagine, but if you're not willing to walk like we did, you could buy a rental car. It's just going to cost you more money. But, it depends on where you're going to be working at in your environment. But for driving, yeah, if you guys want to rent a car, you can rent a car on your contracts. A lot of places have nursing discounts. So try to book a cheap car, because that will add up. And if you're just buying that by yourself, if you have no one to travel with, then that'll be pretty expensive. But that's, like I said, if you have someone to go with, then you can cut that cost in half or in thirds. That'll be really good. Try to get discounts wherever you can. So I'm gonna tell you guys how much I was making back at home as I lived in Florida. I was a home health nurse. I had 2 jobs. One of my jobs was paying me $20 an hour, and when I left there, I was only working at that job 1 day a week because I didn't like it. So that job was bringing me in about $200 a week, because I only worked one 12-hour shift. Now my other job, the pay was between, it depended on the case. So one of my cases, I brought home 23 an hour, and the other one I brought home 24 an hour. After taxes, I was bringing home about $1,100 a week, and for me that was a lot coming from being a pharmacy tech, but for the bills I had, it didn't, for all the work that you do, it wasn't a lot of money. So I was bringing home about $1,100 a week, about $4,400 a month. And so now I'm going to tell you how much I bring home from my New Hampshire contract. So here it was, my New Hampshire contract. My shifts were 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., 8-hour shifts. It tells you where you're going to be working, the facility. Assignment length was 8 weeks. Weekly hours were 40 hours. So I was guaranteed 40 hours a week. So if the facility would call you off for say 1 hour, one day, and you only got 32 hours, you'll fill out a form and they'll pay you for that extra 8 hours. It tells you the dates that you were assigned. I was assigned from February 1st to March 27th, which is exactly 8 weeks. So you get a start, for this contract, I got a start bonus of $200. So as long as I started on the day that I was supposed to start, which was February 1st, I got a $200 bonus. My regularly hourly rate was $28 an hour, and my overtime pay was $42 an hour. So if I worked any overtime after 40 hours, I was getting paid $42 an hour. My meal, and it's called M&I per week. It's meals and something else. I forgot, but it's for food. So your food that they pay you per week was $385. And then housing per week, they pay $651. So for my total, I was getting paid $2,152 a week on my nursing contract. So that's how much I was getting paid a week. So basically I was doubling my pay for that. However, the facility that we were working at offered us overtime. So, you know, of course, going to work, you might get stuck doing something. We got, at first we weren't really getting overtime. So I was getting about 7 hours of overtime just because I had to stay late, finish documenting stuff, blah, 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 blah. But those 7 hours add up because you're getting paid $42 an hour. So it really added up. Okay, my bad, you guys. My camera died, so I had to let it charge for a little bit. But back to pay. So I told you guys how much I was gonna gross before taxes without overtime, and that was the $17,000. So I'm gonna show you guys my first check that I got in New Hampshire. I got the $200 bonus. I got my food stipend. I got my mileage stipend. I got housing stipend. I got my regular pay, and I got 3 hours of overtime pay, and that was gross $2,709.72. There we go. And then after taxes, I brought home $2,407.62. So that was my first paycheck in New Hampshire, and my paychecks were about the same. If you take away that $200 bonus, because you only get that the first week and then your last week, so I was grossing, my take home was about, my gross was $2,500 and change, blah, 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 and then my take home was about 2,260, 70. It just changed depending on how much overtime I got, but my take home was about 2,200, sometimes 23. So I'm gonna show you my paycheck that I got when I worked a lot of overtime, because like I said, I was only, during my whole contract, I was mainly working 3 to about 5 hours of overtime a week, because they really didn't have that much overtime to give us at first. But like the last week and a half of us being there, they needed a lot of overtime because a lot of people were leaving and they had a shortage. So my second to last check in New Hampshire, I have to find it. Here it is. My last 2 checks with them were really high, but I'm going to show you my second to last one. So, of course, I got my food stipend. I got another stipend, and I got a bonus. I don't know what supplemental is, but I got $1,000 supplemental bonus, plus my regular pay of 40 hours, my overtime pay. I had 32 hours of overtime. So my hours that I worked that week were 72 hours and 33 minutes, 72.33. And yeah, that's a lot. So my gross for that was $4,737.35, and my take home was $3,715.71. And you're probably thinking, dang, they took out $1,000 in taxes. You have to remember that your overtime pay and your regular pay is all taxable. So I worked 72 hours, but all that is taxable. So, but that's still a lot of money. I got almost $4,000 in 1 week, which is crazy, going from making $1,100 to that amount. It was mind-blowing. And if I can do it, you guys can do it too. Like, you just have to go out on a limb, on faith. Like, you could have a family, you can have children, you can have a dog, you can have, or it could just be you. If you're able to see the opportunity to do it, go for it, because there's money to be made. So yeah, that was how much I was getting paid in New Hampshire. And as you guys know, I'm in California here too. So I'm just really blessed to be doing what I want to do. So let me tell you how much I made the whole time. Let me see. So my gross total income for 8 weeks was $22,831.38, and my take home was $19,650.93. And I was blessed. I was able to save most of that money. I really wasn't spending nothing. I was paying my bills and saving, and I don't have no credit card debt. Like I said, I was able to buy my car. I've been doing a lot of things I can't share with you guys right now, but because it's a secret. But there's a lot of things that God has opened the door for me just by me having a little bit of faith and just going for it, you know. And I just realized my AC unit is on, so it might be a little loud on my second part of my video. I'm so sorry. But that is it. I will have more travel nursing videos as I get more experience with travel assignments. I will talk about my California one once it gets towards the end of my contract. I'm only a month in, so I still want to figure out what's going on, the pros, the cons, the tips, whatever. So I'm gonna wait till towards the end of this contract to talk about that. But I wanted to share with you guys my New Hampshire contract because that one's already over. I've already experienced it, and I wanted to give it to you guys because you guys could just be sitting there wanting to do the same thing that I was doing, and you just need that little encouragement. But this is your encouragement. This is your sign to just go out and do it. And it doesn't have to be nursing. If you have something else that you want to do and you just need that little like voice telling you, should I do it or should I not, do it. Go for it. Do whatever you want to do. If you have a goal, go for it, and don't think about what if it doesn't work out or nothing. If it doesn't work out, if you fall, you get back up and you learn. Just go for it, do it, because you never know what's on the other side. And I'm so glad that you guys were tuning into this video. Give it a like, comment down below if you're a travel nurse and what your experience is, or if there's a goal that you want to accomplish. Put that down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye.